Everyone, I'm now calling this meeting to order. Please stand with us. We'll be led in prayer by Alderman Flores. Please remain standing after the prayer for the Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by Alderman at Large George Payne.
May we bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the many blessings you have bestowed upon our city and our community, Father. Father, we ask that you keep your blessing on us, and that we ask as a board for wisdom and discernment as we turn to the new year and lead the city moving forward, Father. Father, as we gather in this season with our families, may we remember why we are gathering and the reason for our gatherings, dear Lord. And may we ask that you keep each of us safe, and our country safe, and our leaders safe. In your precious Son's name we pray, Christ Jesus. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda this evening is the approval of minutes for the December 3rd, 2024 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne?
Yes.
Alderman Kelly?
Yes.
Alderman Hoot?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome?
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler?
Yes.
Alderman Flores?
Yes.
Okay, and that motion carries. Next on our agenda, we're privileged to have Representative Rodney Hall with us tonight. So, Representative Hall, would you come forward? And I mentioned this to you when you requested to be on the agenda, but I want to tell you how much we appreciate in Southaven having you represent us in Jackson, and the fact that you'll take time to hear from us and come give us an update means a lot. So we appreciate you being here very much.
Thank you, Mayor. And, I want to start by saying thank y'all to the board for allowing me to be here. I already promised Whitney that I won't stand up here and filibuster. That's not the purpose of this, but I did want to come and meet with y'all prior to the end of the year, especially as we get ready for the next session, to one, thank you for all of the hard work and your service for the city of Southaven. I mean, you can see it. You can see all the work that y'all are putting into. I drive in and around this city every single day, and it seems like I see a new development, new business, new infrastructure, new investment into the city of Southaven. So thank you. Thank you for your service to the city. I really wanted to come here and say, as your representative, my goal is just to make sure that y'all have the tools and the resources necessary in order to continue the success that you already have in the city of Southaven. We're blessed. I think it was Raymond Flores that said the prayer and really spoke about the blessings that we have here in Southaven, and I see it. I'm sure y'all see it too as you travel across the state and look at other cities all across the 82 counties, that we have different challenges, unique challenges, but we're blessed with the challenges that we have, specifically when you talk about the growth and the investment that we have in the city of Southaven. So I just wanted to come and let y'all know, as we prepare for the 2025 session, I've spoken with the mayor, I've spoken with the police chief, I've spoken with some of y'all. I want y'all to know that my door is always open, whether it's infrastructure, local projects, or any other kind of challenges with the growth that we have. You have a partner in Jackson working on your behalf. And so that's basically all I wanted to say to the board and to the mayor. Thank y'all so much. If y'all have any ideas, whether it's in your wards or at the city at large, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Y'all are doing an absolutely fantastic job, and I just want to make sure that we're continuing to bring the resources back up here to Southaven so you continue to execute. So thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, next on our agenda is the Getwell widening agreement between Southaven and the county. We don't have a formal MOU. Y'all are familiar with the discussions going on. So basically, DeSoto County, as the as the MPO next 4-year cycle that begins in 26. The MPO, as y'all know, is federal funding program for roads. So every metropolitan area gets a designated amount of money, and then the local government split that money and rate projects to use the money on. So the county is going to use that to widen Getwell Road, where our recent project ends at Star Landing. Their plan is to widen that all the way to 269. So the section that's currently in Southaven is from Star Landing to Lester Road. They have voted yesterday, and they've agreed to pay 10% of the cost of that. So the way it works, the MPO pays 80%, local share is 20%. So the county's agreed to pay 10, and for us to pay 10. So I'm good with that agreement. My recommendation is that we do participate with DeSoto County to get that project done. So I'm asking for your authorization to send the letter of agreement to the MPO.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Wheeler. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is an amendment to the Southaven Police Department record policy. Mr. Nick Manley.
Yeah, Mayor and Board, this policy is amending, allowing for a background check for each entity. It's including a $15 background check as part of the policy for every entity that applies for the rotation for the SPD record rotation policy. So tonight it's just the amendment to the policy for approval. We'll bring back a formal recommendation for those entities at the January or February meeting for approval. But tonight, just authorization to approve the record policy amendment.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Jerome. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Okay, next on the agenda is a resolution for the surplus of firearm for Lieutenant Jamie Russell.
Yeah, this resolution will surplus Lieutenant Jamie Russell's firearm as allowed by the Mississippi statutes for his retirement to the PERS system.
I'll make that motion. Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Jerome. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. We did have a retirement party for Lieutenant Russell at the Southaven West Precinct recently, but I would like to share just a few notes about Lieutenant Russell's career. He is retiring on December 31st. Lieutenant Russell worked for the Southaven Police Department since March of 1995. He was assigned to the Patrol Division from 95 to 99. From 99 to 2000, Lieutenant Russell worked as a detective. Then from 2000 to 2001, he worked in the Traffic Division. He was on military deployment from 1 to 4, and when he returned, he was assigned to the Patrol Division, where he worked until 2007. In 2007, Lieutenant Russell moved to the Fugitive Division and worked there until 2009, when he was promoted to lieutenant. After his promotion, Lieutenant Russell worked as a patrol lieutenant from 09 until 14. He was in the Public Relations School Resource Lieutenant from 14 through 16. In 16, Lieutenant Russell was assigned to the Support Services Division as the fleet coordinator, responsible for overseeing the purchasing and maintenance of the police department's fleet of vehicles. Lieutenant Russell's strong work ethic and positive attitude have left an indelible mark on our department. His contributions have greatly supported our mission to keep Southaven safe. As he retires, we can all take pride in the legacy he leaves behind. So please join me in thanking and congratulating Lieutenant Russell. Okay, and we don't have this on the agenda, this information. Obviously, we had Lieutenant Russell on the agenda because we're surplusing the firearm, but we have another special retirement coming up, and so I'd like to honor Jimmy Wiseman. We have Jimmy Wiseman in the audience with his wife Cindy and family. We appreciate y'all being here. Captain Wiseman, would you come up and just stand over to the side here where everyone can see you, and just have some comments that I'd like to share and pay tribute to you this evening. Fire Captain Wiseman, y'all listen, is the longest tenured employee in the city of Southaven's history. Wow. So of all the people that have worked for this city, you're looking at the man who's been the most loyal person, the most tenured employee in Southaven's history. 43 years and 7 months.
Wow.
So listen to this. Captain Wiseman, You okay? You need a chair? Captain Wiseman began volunteering with the Southaven Fire Department in August of 1980, shortly after graduating from Southaven High School. He was hired full-time on May 23, 1981, and quickly promoted to a driver-operator position. He served in that role for 6 years before being promoted to lieutenant in 1987, where he served for 9 more years before being promoted to captain in 1996. The captain position is a high-ranking leadership position in the department that carries tremendous responsibility. Captain Wiseman has played a key role in leading our men and women in the fire department through revolutionary changes as our city has experienced monumental growth and change during his career. His professional skill set has always revolved around the most critical and dangerous service of rescue, as he is a specialist in rope rescue, confined space rescue, trench rescue, swift water rescue, structural collapse, and smoke diving. He is a certified advanced rescue specialist, which has qualified him to serve with Mississippi Task Force 1 for the last 10 years. This is an elite unit that travels to assist other areas with specialized rescue and support during natural disasters. You've had an incredible career, and on behalf of the city, I want you to know that we appreciate your service. You have made a big difference here. Your wife is here. We appreciate the sacrifices over the years. We know that there have been many times when you couldn't be with your family, so the city of Southaven appreciates you and wish you all the best. I'd like to get a photo with you.
He's been a fireman longer than I've been out of high school. Oh, I know. It's been a long time.
Okay, next on our agenda is a revised agreement with our Dizzy Dean contract.
Yes, Mayor and Board, this contract, currently, the current contract we have expires July 31st of 2025. This contract will renew that contract from August 1st, 2025 to July 31st, 2029, under the same terms that we currently have with Dizzy Dean. Basically, based on the sanction fee, it's in correspondence or correlation to how many teams enter the tournament, and then also allows for softball. It sets forth the requirements for the city as far as the funding, along with the awards that are required, the passes, the umpire staffing. And so tonight it's been agreed to and signed by the Dizzy Dean organization, and tonight need approval for the mayor to sign the same.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
Yeah, and that motion carries. Next on the agenda is an award of bids for police department uniforms.
Yeah, this went to bid under 31713 Mississippi Code, and then also it sets forth the reverse auction. The low bid for each item was emergency equipment professionals. So tonight, need authorization to accept the bid and effectuate the motion by allowing any and all documents to be signed by the mayor or police chief or their designee.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Jerome. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
And that motion carries. Next on the agenda is award for the chemicals contract and utilities.
This contract went to bid as well for the chemicals for 2025. The low bid was Ideal Chemical for each category under the reverse auction. So approval tonight is needed to accept the bid and authorize Ray Humphrey to sign the contract with Ideal Chemical.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Kelly. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
Next on that motion carries. Next on the agenda is authorization for utilities to execute the Tyler Technologies work order.
Yeah, this work order with Utilities Department is also for Ray Humphrey's signature. It authorizes the city to purchase the software needed to allow for real-time information to be available for those customers when paying. The cost of the service, cost of the software is $5,221. And that's the service that's going to be an ancillary basis to the actual software. And there'll be a one-time cost of $6,300 for the professional service to set up the software. So it's software as a service contract through Tyler, and it's needed for authorization for Ray Humphrey to sign so that they can proceed with the Utilities Department for this service.
So moved. Second. Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Wheeler. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. Next on the agenda is authorization to seek bids for the utility relocation for the I-55 widening project.
And this is just authorization to seek those bids. Once the bids are received, they'll come back to the board for approval, but land acquisition is currently taking place for that, and then once that is complete as well, the bids will be received, brought back to the board as a condition for approval, and then it'll allow for the I-55 to begin as well at some point in the future.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Jerome. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. Next on the agenda is resolution to authorize IT surplus and intergovernmental transfer.
Yeah, there's actually two resolutions for this tonight. The first we can do is under 172525, it's just authorization to surplus those items in IT that aren't needed through gov deals. And then the second resolution is authorizing certain inventory that's no longer needed by the city as intergovernmental transfer to Northwest Community College. They've signed the contract accepting the equipment from the city. We can do it under one motion, but there's two separate resolutions, and the contract will be with the Northwest Community College for the surplus of the intergovernmental transfer tonight.
I'll make that motion.
Sec-
motions.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Wheeler for both, second by Alderman Flores. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Hoots.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries on both. Next on the agenda is authorization to enter contracts for the landscape maintenance.
There's two contracts for this tonight as well. The first is with Michael Hatcher and Associates, and it's for the city facilities and utility properties. It'll be an annual amount of, let me make sure I got this right, $268,895. I'm sorry, that's the premier. This will be city utilities in the amount of $125,778, and then you have another contract for the right-of-ways with Premier Lawn and Turf, and that will be in the annual amount of $304,000. Both have turned in their proposals, and the suggestion tonight, or the recommendation tonight, is to authorize the mayor to sign both contracts, as they've both been signed by both entities. The contracts have the indemnification clauses along with the termination for convenience clauses as required by the board. It'll allow for the contracts to be effective January 1st, and they're 3-year contracts that will begin January 1st from that date. So happy to answer any questions, and they'll be starting soon in the near future with these services that are set forth and their proposals that are also incorporated as part of the contract.
I'll make that motion for both contracts. Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Wheeler, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion?
And one thing I meant to note that each entity will serve as a general alternative to the other entity as well. So if they're not able to fulfill those duties, the other entity can come in and sub for them to fulfill the duties that are required by the contract.
And just to remind the board, the reason that we're here again, is the company they had previously just simply was not getting the job done adequately. So both of these companies that have been recommended tonight are outstanding companies, but they also know that they know the city's expectations. So, if the work is not done to the satisfaction of the city, we do have the ability to get out of those contracts. We just simply expect the grass to be cut. Is that asking too much? We just want the grass cut. And as simple as that is, we've had some challenges with that. Any other discussion? The other thing, it is more than we had with we know that at the end of these contracts, just like the sanitation contract and all of them, with inflation, when they get to the end of the contract and you rebid, you're bidding on current numbers, current costs, so it is more than what we were paying before. But that comes with the territory when the contracts expire. We'll make that adjustment. It's not something we can't adjust with the budget, so we're comfortable in doing it. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on the agenda is MDEQ MOU for the funds, for state funds for the Autumn Woods Drainage Project.
Yeah, this is for the MWCI funds from MDEQ. The board previously approved the contract with Autumn Woods Drainage Project. As part of that project, it was below estimate, so there's an additional $52,901 that is available to the city that can be utilized for other projects as long as it's expended by 2026 or the end of 2026. So this MOU will also be between the mayor and the board, as we've done with similar MOUs, that will serve as the obligation for 2024, and then that money then will be allocated to the city over the next 2 years to be used for other projects which qualify. So tonight we need authorization for Alderman Payne and Mayor Musselwhite to sign between the mayor and the board, and this will then be provided to MDEQ that will hold these funds for the city for the next 2 years.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Kelly, second by Alderman Hoots. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on the agenda is a resolution for our DeCrua appointment.
This appointment's needed for the DeCrua board. Chris Wilson is your current appointment. His term expires December 31st. So the recommendation is to reappoint Chris to the DeCrua board for a 4-year term as your representative to the board.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is our planning agenda. Ms. Whitney Cook.
Yes, so our first item on the agenda, if you will recall, over the past few months, we've been going through a process for the residential treatment facility. We took it through conditional use. I believe at the last board meeting, we went through design review. Per the requirements in the new ordinance, it's required to have 5 acres or more. So what you have on the agenda tonight, there's currently 2 lots that they had to purchase to make them compliant with the 5 acres. So what they're doing is merging those 2 lots into a singular lot. So from a site design standpoint, from an insurance standpoint, title work standpoint, it just fits better. Total would be 5.7 acres, and they are going to merge them into what we're going to identify now as Lot 7R, which goes chronologically with the recording process. Everything else is verbatim what's already platted and existing for the lots that exist now. So it was recommended to be approved as submitted.
Mayor, I'll make the motion to approve item number 1 on the planning agenda as presented.
Second.
On item 1, we have a motion by Alderman Jerome, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Item number 2 is going to be a subdivision application for Silo Square Phase 8. This is going to be on the south side of May Boulevard. You'll see it highlighted there in green on the master plan. These are the cottage homes. What they have submitted tonight and what was approved with the master plan is somewhat different, and the reason behind that is On the southwest corner of this particular piece of property, DEQ did require detention on site. So we had to shift everything to the north, place the detention in the south, or the southwest corner. And when we did that, it did remove the alleyway access to these lots. We have both front load access and rear load access in silo right now already. So in terms of the character of the neighborhood, it should not do anything negative to impact that. But these two coves that you see right here did have rear access, and we can no longer get that due to the detention on site. Lot sizes are the same, character of the homes is the same, and square footage for the homes themselves are all the same. All we're doing is requesting to remove the alleyway access, same number of lots. And overall, in this entire section, you will actually see a reduction in the lots because of it. So we're recommending approval as submitted.
Mr. Mayor, I make a recommendation that we approve item number 2 on the planning agenda as presented tonight.
Second.
On item 2, we have a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion?
Are they all front loads?
They will all be front loads. Exactly what you see over there in that section with the front load areas. Nothing different.
Did you may have answered this question, but is there just one more? How many streets go? The street that's there now is Front Street. How many more streets go back south of there? Is it 2 or just 1?
Okay, so if you go back up to the master plan, these two coves actually come off of what's called Second Street. So Front Street is the road that's behind the out parcels on Getwell Road. Second Street is that road you see going north and south on the corner of that greened in area that we're talking about tonight. So that's Second Street right there, that these two coves are coming off of, right there.
Okay, so these are north. These are north of May Boulevard.
No, south. See the highlighted green area
Okay, I'm
right
with you
there?
now. Okay.
That's what's under discussion tonight. So
Okay, I
that's
got
Second Street, which already exists. Everything to the east of that is already in place. So we're approving these two coves on this side, and there is one more section just south of this that is not under discussion tonight.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Holt.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Our final application is a subdivision application for Worthington Estates Section H. It's going to be on the east side of Sweeney Road, south of Goodman. It's 14.77 acres, and this particular section has 37 lots and 1 common open space. This PUD was approved back in, I believe, 98 as a conceptual design. You'll see it right there on the screen. There's been some things that just haven't played out the same as what the conceptual design was versus what they have in play now. This is that same situation. This is going to be south of those 2 lakes where you see the 2 coves coming off the main drive and then the circular access right there. We have actually cleaned that up with this application, and instead of having the 2 coves going to the south side, they're just doing one big giant loop. And speaking with the emergency services from both fire and police, it's better access for them. It's cleaner lines for us. Lots stay the same. Common open space stays the same. Nothing changes except we've kind of cleaned up the concept of dropping just random coves off of main access drives. It's not a good planning side. It's a traffic congestion issue. So we're requesting approval with the changes that have been made.
Mr. Mayor, I recommend that we approve item number 3 on the planning agenda as presented tonight.
Second.
We have a motion on item 3 by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Wheeler. Is there any discussion?
Is this part of what's going on there right now?
Yes, yeah, you'll see the dirt work moving right now. A lot of dirt work being done. You're right on the edge of some floodplain area, so there's a lot of dirt moving.
It's,
Yeah.
And then just south of that, there's already curbs being put in that other subdivision.
This will go all the way down to the end of the Worthington Estates property. So where you see that curb end is where this ends. Everything below that is just vacant agricultural property.
Right, yeah.
This is all just part of the current Worthington subdivision.
Correct. I will tell you, it's Brian Hill who's purchased it. Built a good quality house. I have not seen the elevations yet, but just from his previous work, I don't think we're gonna have an issue with it.
Does this finish Worthington? Or is there any?
There's
other
one
land
more, so
available?
he's got another section on the east side of this, which will be the final property that he's purchased, and I believe there's one more portion just north of there where the lakes are. Everybody's kind of shying away from that, one, from the topography and elevation issues, but two, those lakes have to come into play, kind of like Central Park with some walking trails and things like that. So it's not the most profitable section. So there's a gentleman who owns it who is not developing it yet, but, you know, we'll see in terms of if maybe Bryan extends to the north, but that will be the last section at that point.
Just makes sense for him, especially if we can cut Rascal all the way through.
Any other discussion on item 3? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next on our agenda is our mayor's report. Just a couple of things, updates. Y'all know that we formed a committee to review the library's financial situation and the city's support of that. The city provides the $9.2 million building for the library gladly. We provide financial assistance for operating expenses as well. We want to make sure that we keep the hours of operation open as much as possible for our citizens that like to use the library. So we met, the committee met, and we looked at different things that we could potentially do. We feel like that the library is funded adequately to have 59 hours a week, which is should serve the needs of the city citizens. There was a couple of things that we talked about. We discussed possibly taking on some more of their operating expenses. The committee believed that there were some things that we could do that would help them financially more. And one of the discussions was about the janitorial services. Alderman Payne, you and I talked about that. That's a large job, so at this point, we don't recommend doing that. We would have to hire another person to do that. So it's best to keep that as is. But I'm asking for the board's approval tonight for the city to take care of the gas, water, sewer, sanitation, and pest control for the library. If we do that, they believe that they can adequately return to 59 hours, so I'm asking the board for approval to do that.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Payne. Is there any discussion? We can also get better, better efficiency with that because we're already paying for those services with other facilities. So, I mean, it will be more, but it's not something that we can't handle. So I think it's a good move. So. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. The next, y'all know this is the last meeting of the year, all right? And so every last meeting of the year, we stop and look back, of all the things that have happened. When you have your head down working every day and we deal with all the issues that we deal with, sometimes we forget about how far we traveled. If you're fishing in a boat and you're looking at your line but you're not paying attention, sometimes it's amazing how far you move. You don't, until you stop and look around, you don't realize how far you've moved. And it's the same thing with your work. Sometimes it's good to stop and turn around and look behind you, see how far you come, to prepare you to keep going in the future. So tonight, I just want to go over some of the things that have happened, our year in review in Southaven. First of all, just like last year and years in the past, and you see with our planning agenda as it continues, we have a booming economy. We're blessed in Southaven. We continue to be blessed. I'm not going to go through all these other than to say that we have either completed in 2024 or pending in 25, we have $1.38 billion in development. And I want everybody to know that that's never happened in the city of Southaven. There's never been that many developments going on at one time in our city. So that's an incredible number. And if you float that number to other Mississippi cities, you're not going to find many, if any, that can say that they have the same thing going on. So we're truly blessed. Sales tax revenue continues to grow. In 2013, our revenue was $12.5 million a year. Now it's $20.5 million a year. So we continue to make a huge difference in there. That's how we've been able to fund all the improvements, take care of our personnel. That's how we've been able to do it. Embassy Suites Hotel Convention Center, we've been working on that since 2017. Dirt has moved on that project, so that project is expected to go vertical in May of 2025, and that will be, as I've said many times, that will be the most influential single development in the history of Southaven, DeSoto County. When that comes with the convention center, it'll be a $150 million total project with the first full-service hotel in our history. It'll be the first convention center in the state, or the only convention center in the state of Mississippi that has a hotel on site. It's going to be a game changer for sure for the city. I won't go through all the others, but if y'all will just scroll down for me, please. But you can see all the other things that have happened. Obviously the area in the Snowden district is some of the highest valued real estate in the South, especially in Mississippi. We continue to have tremendous growth there, but we're blessed to have growth throughout the city still. Let's move on forward. Recreational value. Y'all know our commitment to our parks, the things that we've been able to complete. We finished the neighborhood parks, trails, and pavilions, where we redid trails and added pavilions in 9 different neighborhood parks in the city. That was just recently completed. Central Park, the multi-use trail that goes through the park, connects to other multi-use trails, which will eventually connect the longest pedestrian route in DeSoto County's history. Tennis expansion, we got 8 additional courts that are on top of the hill from the others. That is underway and projected to be done in late summer. Cherry Valley Park art sign, we put another sign like we have at Central Park. We put one of those at Cherry Valley, again, just to call attention back to Cherry Valley and preserve one of the most influential parks in our city's history. We're trying to bring life back to Cherry Valley. We put the art sign there. We've got a pending project that will start in the spring to add a bike track skate park there to go along with the football operation, and we're going to continue to bring life back to Cherry Valley. Snowden Grove Park video board, the sign that was removed when the bridge was installed was old. We got a new beautiful sign that's in design and will be installed this next year. And then we redid the parking lots at Snowden and Greenbrook. Those are the 2 most heavily traveled parks in our city. So it was time for a new parking lot, so we got that done with tourism money as well. Our tennis program was named the best in Mississippi. Y'all may remember, and forgive me for being a competitive guy, but y'all may remember in 2016 that there were citizens that criticized our investment into our tennis program, and specifically for hiring Michael Johnson. They said that was a waste of money. I'm here to tell you that they were wrong and I was right, and we were right. And we were named the Tennis Program of the Year by USTA Mississippi in 2024. Bank Plus Amphitheater, named Venue of the Year by the Mississippi Tourism Association. So the investment that this board agreed to do in the amphitheater, we put about $12 million in that amphitheater, and we were named the Venue of the Year this year. Performing Arts Center study is underway. We're having that study done by Urban Art, so we'll be able to report back to the board soon about that. Celebrating our history. Jimmy Wiseman, you're a part of our history. You were a young man when you started with this city, but you've been a part of the city from the get-go. We became a city in 1980, the same year that you went to work for the city. So what we try to do in recent months is start celebrating our history. A lot of people don't know the things that you and I know, that, back when the city was smaller, we had these special places that were big for Southaven, and now we want everybody to celebrate that, to know the history of it. So we honored Lorene Cady this year in our tribute hall. That was a very special evening when we were able to do that. We renamed the old softball field there. We renamed it Jerry Street Park. That was a big thing and very fitting for him and his life and his history there. We started the historical marker signs. This year we placed one at Cherry Valley Park to honor the original baseball operation that occurred there that started there in 1969. The Jago community was an African-American community that along the Swinney Road corridor that existed many, many decades before Southaven was even a community. So we were able to honor that special location. The whole, again, carries tremendous history. We put a sign there at Jerry Street Park. And then we noted the Chickasaw Indian Trail this year as well along Tullahoma. Again, in the 1800s, who knew that the Chickasaw Indians lived in Southaven before any of us did? So that was a special tribute. We have that marker placed there near Sacred Heart School. We have pending locations. Donnie Woods Field is behind Southaven Elementary, holds a special place in our history. Fun Time Skate Land in the early 1980s was a special place. It's where South Point Church is now. Those two will be placed in 2025. Again, we continue with aggressive infrastructure improvement. After all the lobbying efforts, we finally got the state legislature to fund the I-55 widening project. So that project is underway. Right of way is being purchased. Utilities lines are being moved, and construction is projected to start in early 2026. We just finished the Getwell Road widening project, which was a 9-year project and one of the most expensive projects that we've ever done in the city. The Getwell Nail to Church MPO multi-use trail will start in 2025 as well. Nail Road extension is underway. Snowden Lane widening underway. We continue to invest in the city's infrastructure with $7 million in street resurfacing, which is the highest we've ever done. Drainage improvement projects, we talked about some of those. Autumn Woods, Carriage Hills. We also added new traffic signals at Rasco Greenbrook Parkway, Guthrie Airways, State Line Sweeney, and Church Tullahoma. So we continue to, as we grow, we continue to handle the traffic that comes with it. The Sweeney Church widening project was completed, and then we have a pending project at Sweeney and Star Landing to make it safer, to put signalization there and also widen that intersection. Our public safety commitment continues. In the last 6 years, we've increased our funding to our police department by 64%. That's tremendous and much needed. Our police continues to do an incredible job maintaining a general flat crime statistic in a very challenging environment with our unique geographic challenges. Our new Police East Precinct was completed this year, and Fire Station number 5, believe it or not, y'all listen to me, believe it or not, Fire Station number 5 is going to be completed in the next 30 days. I promise. If not, Deputy Chief Bledsoe, who's going to be living on site out there? Who's going to have a tent in the front? You know who that guy is. So anyway, we're about to be done with that. And then the last thing I just want to say, well, just quickly, preparing for our future, we're still working on the major thing with the disconnect from Memphis Sewer. We have an agreement between the Horn Lake Creek Basin Interceptor Sewer District with the CRUA, and we're seeking funding, but we have 7 years to get that done, so we got to move quickly on that. We started the first property database for nuisance properties this year. That enables us, it's underway, it enables us to search and sort and track problem properties in our city where crimes are being committed or there's repetitive code enforcement violations. This is critical for our city to protect our neighborhoods and our property values. So the report is underway now, and we will use that in 2025 big time. We added a commercial nuisance property ordinance. We want everybody that comes to Southaven, whether it be restaurants, shopping, or whatever, we want them to have a great experience in Southaven. But we also want them to act right, and they are going to act right. Bad actors are not going to come here and disrupt the city of Southaven for our citizens and other people. So that commercial nuisance property ordinance will help us do that. We did install signs, and I think it was it 30, Whitney, how many? 38 restaurants, something like, around 40, right?
7 and counting, yeah. I think actually.
So we put signs there, and believe it or not, some people want to come enjoy food and drink at our restaurants and then decide that they didn't like it and don't want to pay. And that's not going to happen in Southaven. If you have food and drink, you are going to pay. And so we put signs at all the restaurants to make sure they understand that we're Southaven and you're going to do things the right way here. We did purchase the old Fred's building. We have to have court expansion as our city moves forward. So we have the new municipal court building that we purchased, and it will be under renovation in the near future. And last, I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank the Board of Aldermen. I want to thank all my department heads. You know, as Representative Hall said earlier, we've got a good thing going in Southaven. It's not by chance, okay? It's because we do things the right way here. It's not one person. It takes a lot of people for us to operate the city in a positive way like we do. So the aldermen, department heads, I want to thank everybody for that, for another great year, and then just wish a Merry Christmas to all of you. And that's all in the mayor's report this evening, so we'll move forward. Next on our agenda is our personnel docket.
Mr. Mayor, move we approve the personnel docket as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Hoots. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Hughes.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
And that motion carries. Next on our agenda is our city attorney's legal update. Mr. Nick Manley again.
Just have one quick item. Authorization is needed for waiver of a permit fee under 21-1965 for the Tunnel to Towers program, associated with a fee for a permit for a residential sprinkler system. Tunnels to Towers, the 501c3 that does mortgage-free homes for veterans and Gold Star families for the military and armed services. So it's part of a permit fee for a veteran, and they've asked for that waiver tonight.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoot, second by Alderman Jerome. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Hughes.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is our utilities billing leak adjustment docket.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the utility bill leak adjustment docket as presented on this date.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Hoots. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Hughes.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is one claims docket.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the claims docket in the amount of $6,088,998.21, including demand checks.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Flores. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Hughes.
Yes.
Alderman Jerome.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Alderman Flores.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next on our agenda is the purpose of determining the need for executive session.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Hoots, second by Alderman Wheeler. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. The need this evening is land acquisition for utility relocation for the I-55 widening project, economic development in the city, and interdepartmental personnel with no action. Is there a motion to declare executive session?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Flores, second by Alderman Wheeler. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. The mayor and board will now enter executive session.